What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. Got another scorecard reaction for y'all, and you already know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, yo. How do we keep finding ourselves in these weird situations, man? Let's get into it. I got hit up on Twitter. I got asked to weigh in. Apparently, there is a Nasty C Sarkodie situation that's going on. And I'm going to be honest with y'all and up front, make my stances clear on all this. This is not going to be a typical reaction. I'm going to do two videos back to back. So I'm going to do the Nasty C one now, weigh in on my thoughts on it. Then I'll do the Sarkodie one, weigh in on my thoughts on it. I don't know if this is a real beef. I don't know if these are actual diss tracks. And the reason I don't do that is because a lot of times y'all have a history of attributing beef where there is no beef, specifically around Nasty C, right? There's this habit of taking different bars that are just bars and creating this idea that it's a sub towards this cat or another cat, and creating this entire narrative that for some reason y'all decide to run with. Hey, it helps the clicks, you know what I'm saying? It gets the fan base riled up and shit. So if that's what you're into, that's cool. That's not really my twist. You know what I'm saying? If there's gonna be a diss, it better be direct, it better be a diss, it better be something said, you know what I mean? Not some weird loose interpretation. So if people are dropping names in these, then we're gonna weigh in. You know what I'm saying? If I think that this is just a bar that you guys are reaching on, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all, and I'm gonna say that too. But we're gonna keep it fair. we're gonna listen to Nasty's first, because I believe this is the one that the other one is actually a response to. So we will do Sarkodie's one after this. And in the sake of transparency, I'll make a couple things clear about my opinions of these people. Number one, if you guys are not in the know, I am on record for attributing a lot of my discovery of any music outside of American hip-hop scenes to discovering Nasty C through YouTube. In a lot of ways, you could make an argument that without me discovering Nasty C and being a fan of Nasty C, I would have never known who Sarkodie was to have any kind of an opinion on this whatsoever. Like, there's value in that, and it's important to know that that's kind of like my stance on that as well. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Sarkodie is somebody that I know personally has extended a hand and helped out a lot of cats in Ghana in the hip-hop scene, and has been a pillar for a lot of cats out there that is, you know, the shit that we like to promote and the shit that we like to stand for here. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Sarkodie. I think both of these cats have incredible talent. Nasty C has plenty of songs that are on my personal playlist. Like, there's a lot of love that I have for both of these gentlemen. So, what I want to come from this is, like, one or two things. If it is diss tracks or it is beef or whatever like that, give us some bars. Like, make it worth listening to. Let's get into some real shit, right? And then number two, like, if it's not, then just dead it. You know what I'm saying? Accept it for what it is. Chalk it up as a subtweet. If it's a subtweet, like, whatever it is, and then go into it. Now, if they're calling names and taking shots, you know, we'll call it how we see it. Let's get into it. It's not going to be a typical scorecard. Like I said, we'll check this out, weigh in on it, and then we'll do right after this, I'm going to upload the Sarkodie one. So, do me a favor. Run the gauntlet. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. The little bell notification guy. We about to eat. You know what? Just in general, though, I feel like we ain't tapped in with Nasty in a minute on the channel. So, it's going to be good just to hear some new music from him. So, let's look at it through that lens for now until we get some name drops. I can hear his flow on this beat already. Like, I can hear him floating on this. Unmastered.
When I first met Sarkodie, he wouldn't shake my hand.
Alright, never mind, I was wrong. Alright, so this is that whole intro is fucking pointless now. Alright, so we're calling names. I'll take my L. I retract my previous statements. Y'all were right this time. Let me go into let's weigh in now. Now we're calling names. Let's call it how we see it then. Look, man, y'all have a history of hyping up fake beef that ain't beef. I'm not wrong for being cautious of jumping in calling this a beef or a versus or something like that. But we here now. That's how you start a track, I suppose. Let's go.
When I first met Sarkodie, he wouldn't shake my hand. Cool. I'm not too proud to say I'm still a fan, but I held a grudge and told myself to wait till I'm the man. I'll never give that man a verse, and boy did I stick to my plan. 2 requests over the years and I declined them both. I just made up some dumb excuse like I'm in album mode. But looking back on that today, I was in coward mode. And besides, those two songs are either out or old. See, that's the best way I know how to get shit off my chest.
Alright, like, that's not a diss. This is more like a coming of age story. Nah, see, this is, y'all be painting motherfucking narratives. I'm telling y'all. Bring us back. Let's look at this. Let's analyze this. Let's break this down. Hold up. Alright. Let's get into it. That nothing so far has been a diss. This sounds more like I was young, dumb, and hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sark's been that guy for a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all know this better than I have. Sark's been that guy for a minute. Whether you're talking about awards being won, where you're talking about just recognition in and outside of Africa in general. Like, my man's been polished, putting out quality music for a very long time. Would have been in that kind of an influential stance when Nasty C was still impressionable. So there's no doubt in my mind that if he tapped in with that music, that he was a fan and shit like that. Like, that all seems very, very real. And also, I don't know Nasty C to be on that tip where like some people, I don't know how to word this correctly, right? But some people really only fuck with their own country's music. Like, I've heard Nasty C call M.I. Abaga his GOAT. Like, he does not have a track record of hating people just because they don't rep SA like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there are a couple of things in place that I would attribute to the not actually being a diss track. Yet, now, let the next line be like, never mind, fucking, like, we'll take it as we see it. But so far, I'm not necessarily sold.
When I first met Sako there, he wouldn't shake my hand. Cool, I'm not too proud to say I'm still a fan. But I held a grudge and told myself to wait till I'm the man. I'll never give that man a verse, and boy did I stick to my plan. 2 requests over the years and I declined them both. I just made up some dumb excuse like I'm in album mode. But looking back on that today, I was in coward mode.
You don't, like, how do you possibly interpret this as a diss? He's saying I fucked up. This is how I felt. I was in my feelings. No M's, like, rappers are the most egotistical humans on the face of the planet. For him to say out loud on wax, I was in coward mode, that is not something a rapper says, especially not in a battle scenario. Like, dog, I do this. You are not going to refer to yourself as a coward in any way, shape, or form if you are entering into the arena of a battle. Like, that's not, no one is doing that. That doesn't make any sense. And, like, let's think about this logically. Who was Nasty C really hurting by not taking those features? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, Nasty is still, like, on the come up. It's like, I don't believe in my heart Nasty C is anywhere close to reach, like, the pinnacle of what he's going to accomplish, right? Whereas Sark already has at this point the accolades, the name, the fan base outside of SA. Like, I don't know how many people are rocking with Nasty C in Ghana. Like, I have no idea, right? I do know that there are cats all over SA that do know Sarkody's name and shit like that. So, like, I would have to assume that had a bigger impact on how quickly Nasty C propelled than any type of an impact. Like, Sarkody was already established. Like, I don't think that has any type of an impact on him. So I don't think he's like, I got him by saying no to those joints. He's flat out saying, look, that was me, you know, being immature. I wasn't there yet. You know what I'm saying?
And besides, those two songs are either out or old. See, that's the best way I know how to get shit off my chest. I was just a disappointed fan, it's nothing more or less. But now I'm over.
How do y'all... Okay, hold on. Now I was about to say I'm over this shit. Okay, there's no... Alright, up until this point, there's a 53 seconds, zero flags on the play, 0 ounces of disrespect, 0... Alright, let's go. Now I'm over this shit. He might get spicy. If he gets spicy now, then we'll just chalk it up as the first 53.
That's it, and he's got all my respect. If he asked me for a verse again, it'll be my hardest one yet. Then I was out and I cried. Media run for my album is turning into a mess. If you tuned in, you could guess. They asked me if I knew Shota, they say he's one of the best. My honest response ended up being twisted up by the press.
I don't know who Shota is, personally. And I don't know what this issue that they're talking about is. It sounds like, again, this is what I'm talking about. It sounds like something happened and y'all decided to run with it and paint a narrative that wasn't the actual narrative. This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. And, like, come on, dog. If he asked for John now, it would be my hardest one yet. How could you see that as a sign of disrespect, dog? Like, I can't imagine the mental gymnastics that y'all have to jump through to turn that into a diss.
There's really nothing there to address, but I thought I'd speak on it to put it to rest and show that man some respect. Got something else I need to speak on next. I think it's time I take this back to the nest. There's been a couple requests. You know, I tried to shit with a Reese. Hard as it was to put my pride aside, I tried to make peace. It wasn't even no beef, that shit was petty spaghetti. 2 weeks later, I'm disrespected and regretted already. Couldn't even get on my live without people bringing them up again. I end up saying fuck them then. Something that was nothing might really turn into something then. I don't even know why we beefing, dog, but it's up again. I'm down to go either way at this point, I'll leave it up to him.
Alright, so this is kind of like the stuff that I was referring to previously. Now this sounds like there's substance there. How is the narrative being pushed of a Nasty C versus Sarkodie and not this conversation between him and Reese? And like the fact that it's all being put out there in the way that it is, this is not beef. Like, do y'all understand what beef is? Do y'all know like in hip hop, motherfuckers were dying and getting shot over fucking hip hop beef? Like this is not none of that. Like, this is not none of that. This is he said, she said shit that turns into pride, that turns into fan bases being like, come on, man.
But I fuck with 25 and I fuck with Flame.
Shout out with Flame.
And a lot of other dope artists that fuck with him. But I be dumb as fuck to ever put my trust in them. And for my 2 niggas I said I'd ride with until our hearse is closed, I won't rap about you, it's too personal. Just know you niggas hurt me though. And you already said some words, and sadly there's no reversing those.
He sounds genuinely hurt. I'm not gonna lie and act like I know who those 2 cats he's talking about necessarily are. I may have my suspicions. But again, that's not the topic of hand. This is supposed to be analyzing Sarkodie and Nasty C.
Just getting shit off my chest, you know?
I believe him. I will say, if Reese decided to respond to this in the way that y'all are painting that Sarkodie responded to this to me, I think A. Reese would be well within his rights. I think the Slimes wanted to get in an upheaval about this. I think the Slimes would be well within their rights, because he's saying like that whole like, yo, I fucked up, I said this, I said fuck, like he's admitted, you know what I mean, what he did on his side of the shit. And his stance isn't like, oh, I'm gonna go again to try and make peace. His stance is like, now that I tried and shit went left for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, like now it's whatever, like then it's whatever, you know what I'm saying. I think that's, you have a way better argument as a Slime to be in an uproar than you do as a Sarkodie fan. Sarkodie fans have a name. What is the fan base name? I feel like I'm super ignorant to that. Let me know. But yeah, it's still up. Let's go.
And I can promise you, I mean no malice to anybody I spoke on. None.
I mean, I would say, does he have to spell it out for you? But he fucking did.
Like I said, I'm just getting shit off my chest. You're more than welcome to take it however you want to take it. I don't think that's up to me.
Ha!
Never has been. So,
that's facts. That's facts.
And these are just a few of the many things I need to get off my chest and speak on, and just...
You probably see this being a series. This is what we call epic foreshadowing, right? This is the storyteller painting the narrative, getting y'all ready for a sequel. You know what I'm saying? We could probably expect a get this off my chest series of tracks, which I'm here for, especially the way he's doing it, though. He sounds mature. He sounds like he's really thought out the way that he feels. He sounds like he's being careful and explaining the narrative in a way that shouldn't be able to get flipped and turned out. Like there's a lot of things that he's doing here that are showing growth, both mentally and just like the way that he's choosing to present himself. Because we know Nasty C can be cocky. We know he's got that bag that he, like, you know what I'm saying? He's not doing that. This is literally just, this sounds like my Dear Diary type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Let go. And I guess that's why I make albums. Anyway. Rest in peace to my little brother Yoshi. We love you, kid. And we miss you.
You don't bring up people that you love who are no longer with you and on a diss track, because that would then welcome disrespect towards them. Like, y'all understand like the rules of engagement to this shit? Like, that's not something you do. right? There's two things. Like, if you're gonna bring up somebody that is no longer with you, there's one or two things. It's because you were about to do some real crazy shit that's gonna get you put away, like you really like lost it, and you're going off the edge, which is not the tone, which is not the vibe, which is not the energy that he's put off on this. And number two is like he's being genuine. He's really just, this is just a track of things that are on his mind, that are on his chest, that he wants to talk about in a therapeutic type way with a track. This is not, this is against all like rules of engagement. This is not beef. This is not how you conduct a diss track in hip hop or nothing like that, dog. This is not battle rap.
I am so grateful for every second I got to spend with you, man. Changed the way I view life, and a lot of people say shit like that just because someone's gone. I'm glad I got to tell you this to your face while you were here. One of the best people I've ever met. Swear down.
Y'all running away with this beef narrative. That last fucking 30 seconds hurt to listen to, dog. That is a man just fucking like, come on. How do you finish this track and walk away painting a narrative? Like, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. Like, that's wild. Do better. Do better. Don't be so hungry for content. Don't be so hungry for hip hop back and forths that you take something like this and paint a false narrative about it. Here's my final words, my final thoughts, my final assessment of this track. There's not an iota of diss track energy on this towards Sarkodie. If I'm Sarkodie and I'm listening to this, I'm taking this as a public apology and a public acknowledgement of my immaturity in the past and the way that I'm almost embarrassed about it now. Like, that's how I'm taking it. This sounds like Nasty C has done some growing up to me. This sounds like Nasty C has done some maturing to me. How the fuck could you, like, how many times did he flat out like have to say that that's not what it is? It's alright. We're gonna listen to the next one, right? So that's my assessment. My assessment of this one is that this is not a beef track. There wasn't like, there's no punches. There's nothing to really dissect. I really believe that this is more of a conscious, let me get this shit off my chest. Let me get on my Dear Diary tip. Let me really speak to, you know what I'm saying? Let me speak to myself. Let me like get this therapy session out of the way. I have no idea how any rational thinking person can hear that and decide to turn that into a diss track. Now, what Sark decides to do, look, this one, I didn't think they were going to say names. I didn't think it was that type of situation. This started off in the first, like, 12 seconds, the first 3 words were mentioning Sarkodie's name, right? So, if that is, in and of itself, a reason for him to respond, I'm going to listen to the bars that he says, listen to what he says. Maybe his will be direct. Maybe he does say Nasty C's name. Maybe it's not something, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the subtweet idea that I fucking had is completely unfounded. I'll listen to Starks. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give my honest opinion of what's being said, if I think it's a diss track or not, and then based on whether or not I think it's a diss track, I'll tell you whether or not I think it was good. What, you know what I mean? We'll take it from there if it is a diss track. It's also possible that Sarkodie's response is also just a measured response to this. Like, this cat said he's still got 1 million followers. You know what I'm saying? Like, this cat said my name. I'm not gonna, like, I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to let that shit slide if I don't want to. This isn't a nobody. You know what I'm saying? When people talk about, like, established artists beefing and shit like that, the counter argument is always like, yo, get your fan base up first. No one even knows who you are. Why should I care about what people have to say about you? That's not Nasty anymore. Nasty is not the kid at the award show who may not have the following worth fucking shaking hands with anymore. Apparently, he's now worth acknowledging. You know what I'm saying? This could just be a measured response from Sarkodie and not necessarily a diss track response back to it. You feel me? I will go make my assessment now. Let me upload this and I'm going to get right on that. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you disagree with me, please state your case. State your case and, like, understand that there's going to be, like, some pushback. I'm, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just... I'm going to be arguing down there if y'all try to tell me that this is like a diss track. Y'all need to really look up fucking rap beefs if you think this is a diss track. You're out of your fucking mind. But as always, let me know your opinion of it down in the comments. As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all on the next one. Let's go.